Welcome back to another episode of the Prepared Performer podcast. Hey, Prepared Performers, this is Shauna Gingras. Woohoo, yeah. Okay, I'm so excited. I'm going to put us on the shared view. Here we go. Yay. Okay, you guys, this is Shauna, who I just told you all about, and she is going to help us today with two things. We're going to talk about managing your personal finances, because as a performer, you yourself are your business. So if we don't have that stuff together, it's going to mess with the rest of our lives and our work and our careers. And then she's also going to talk to us about getting our expenses smaller, about spending less, and tips for that. So I'm super excited, and she's here and she's amazing. So take it away.
Hey, Molly, thank you for having me.
Yes.
So a couple of things. As you guys know, when you are an actor, you are like an independent contractor. You are your business, you are your brand, you're it for the most part. So there's two things that I always think that I know I struggled with when I was an actor, and that was managing the money, because that seems so much less exciting than managing your career. So the first is you need to keep a very strong eye on your expenses. Measure and track every dollar. Every dollar that goes in or out, measure that so that you know what you're spending and where you're spending it. And then look for optimization options so that, for instance, if you're taking acting classes, set a goal for the year. As we're coming into 2016 now, set a goal for the year. If your goal is to book 3 commercials, then you should focus your investment on getting in front of those commercial casting directors, as opposed to maybe getting in front of episodic casting directors. So set the goal and focus your spending on where you want to achieve your goal.
I like that, because sometimes it's just like there's all these options of all these classes I could be taking, and that way you have a really focused plan.
Yeah. And so the biggest thing for small business, and specifically for performers, is we get distracted by shiny objects because so many people are selling us stuff, right? Yes. Exactly. So having a goal will stop you from being distracted by those. You can make a list and go, this year, towards the end of the year, I want to invest some money in these things. I want to get new headshots. I need to do new mailers for my contact list. Look at ways to optimize. See if the people you're contacting are opening mail, or can you contact them by email? Can you cut out some of those headshots if you're sending out headshots to casting directors? I don't know if a lot of people still do that anymore, but some people still send out manual headshots and press kits. Maybe you can send them on a USB stick, right? Save the cost.
And also that, you know what, actually that's an interesting idea is, and I'm not really in the world where I'm doing that right now anymore, but I love helping my clients to think of that. But that also makes it different, right? Finding something a little more interesting.
Yeah. And if you know that that's a track you're going to take for the year, you can get a huge discount on buying those USB sticks. So it's not going to cost you $4 a stick. It can cost you $1 a stick, which is less than the price of mailing a headshot.
I wonder if you could even have them, now I'm like, have them branded with your information on them. I love, when I was on the tour of Tootie Tootie Bang Bang, they gave us USB sticks that were actually cards that went in our wallet, and it popped out. Have you seen those? I love them. And that was like one of the greatest gifts we've ever gotten.
Yeah, you can get them for about $1.50 a piece, and you can get them branded, or you can get sticker brands that you can just slide the sticker with your picture on them. Yeah, so look for cool ways to optimize like that, where also they're going to remember you, because not a lot of people are sending USB sticks yet, so it makes you different, plus it saves you money.
I love that.
So I think that's the number one tip I can give to anyone, is always look for ways to optimize. If you are involved in a lot of services like IMDb Pro, now casting networks, all of those types of services, see if there's any that are duplicates. See if there's any that you can cut back, or that you can perhaps cost share with someone by forming some partnerships. Because a lot of the same information, if you're not submitting on those sites and you're just using it as a source of information, I'm not saying get 100 people and each pay $1.50,
right.
But it is, there's times when you can share some of those services, and so that you will really be able to, think about if you could save $150 a month, what that adds up to in a year. That's over $1,500, right?
Awesome. Hey,
so,
can you go back 1 second?
Yeah.
The very first thing you said, which is track all of your expenses.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's something that I hear a lot as like the number one advice from financial planners and financially based things. And I think that is the number one thing that seems like super easy to do, but I think it's also the number one thing that most people don't do.
Oh, a tool. I have a tool. Okay.
Oh, okay. That's what I was going to ask. Yay.
Excellent. Go to mint.com, like mint, like, yes. It's free for individuals. You can categorize all of your expenses. You can put in your tax reimbursement. So at tax time, you can print out a report that'll say, these are all my tax expenses, and it will actually delineate for you, which is awesome because as much as we all love April, no one loves taxes. So it will really help you with that. But what you measure matters. So I would suggest always track your expenses. And also you'll notice that you're spending a lot of your money in increments of less than $50. So the latte factor, right? The latte factor, used to be $2. Yeah.
I recently got an espresso machine and it's changed my life. It's amazing espresso. And I used to go to Starbucks every single day, but I've cut back. Aren't you proud?
Excellent. Excellent. If anyone is having trouble like with a bit of a Starbucks type habit, the thing I recommend is buy gift cards for yourself at the start of the month and load them with your budget. So when your card is empty, you don't get more until next month. You will ration in a way you never thought possible. That cookie is going to have a lot more meaning when you know that it's a tenth or 5% of your budget for the month.
That is a really good idea too. Yeah. I love you. So, can you do that for everything in your life though?
Yeah.
Shelly Campbell was saying that her mom used to have envelopes with their like budget for the month, and they would have to take the cash out of the envelope. But now we all have cards for everything. It makes it difficult. But can I just set up a separate gift card for everything in my life?
Yes. When my daughter was first learning to budget, I did that. I got her a Walmart gift card because you could buy groceries at Walmart. Yeah. You can get gift cards for almost any place and you can reload them. The only ones I'd stay away from are MasterCard, Visa, or Amex because they charge a fee of $3.50. Right. Any other store does not charge a fee. If you know you can't walk through Macy's without buying something, set your budget for the month. Buy yourself a Macy's gift card. As long as it's a gift card, not a credit card, they don't charge you a fee.
You've just blown my mind. That's a really good idea. Look at that. Okay, go on back to your schedule. Now I will stop asking questions.
So look for ways to cut. And the other thing is look at the benefits you're getting on your credit cards. So if you have a credit card that you're paying a high interest charge on and you carry a balance, you can negotiate those rates. You don't have to stick with that rate. First of all, you can try to negotiate the rate you've got on the card you have, which still gives you the benefits. I know I get points on all my cards. Right. If you're paying interest, it might be worth it to forego the benefit because you're losing it in interest anyway. Mm-hmm. To get a lower interest card, everything is negotiable. Banks need your business, especially if you carry a balance, that gives you power. So as much as you don't want to carry the balance, look at the sum total of all the debt you may be carrying and look at ways that you can, negotiate those rates down. And then those points, back to the gift card thing. I know I have not spent money really on a Christmas gift, or I buy all my Starbucks cards with my credit card points because I don't fly the airline that I get the points on, and they convert, you can use them to buy other things. And a lot of people don't know that. They get those points. A lot of cashback cards. So look for the benefit. If you're paying the interest anyway, look for the benefit in the card. Right. Because there are some credit cards that actually let you pay your balance with the cashback that you've accumulated. Cool. And I can do some research and see if we can get that up for your guys there. But there are some that let you pay your balance with your credit card points. Awesome. Obviously, you won't have enough to pay off your balance with the cash back.
That would be a magical card.
It would be a magic card. And if your credit rating is very strong, you can also transfer to a zero interest credit card as opposed to paying, 10 or 19% interest on an average card is 19%. Right. So just get those interest costs down and that will help you live 2016 debt free.
Woohoo! I love that. I love it. Awesome. Do you have more that you had on your list, or can I just ask you questions now?
Go ahead and ask me questions, and something else may come to me. I'll check my list.
Okay. So one of the things that I love that Shauna has written everywhere on her Facebook page, on her website and stuff is plan, perform, profit, which fits in so well with the prepared performers. I think
Yes.
it's amazing. So I know that we've spoken about like systems and how you're really good about doing that. Do you have any, I'm really big about keeping like spreadsheets of the people that we've auditioned for and those types of things. Do you have any tips or hacks for stuff like that would, that you'd like to share?
In terms of systems, I think as they relate to wherever there's going to be a cost, itemized. So for instance, if you know that you are going to be doing casting director workshop, and then you're going to follow up with some type of collateral, there's going to be a cost, map your cost end to end. Because when you sign up for that casting director workshop, it might be $45, but then you might have about $35 of additional costs that you're not
that's
necessarily
actually a great point.
factoring.
If you're going to take extra coaching or anything like
Yeah.
that to prepare for the workshop, or if you need a new pair of shoes.
Yes, you might. You never know.
That's great. Or if you're going to follow up by sending thank you cards and that kind of stuff, or the USB that you just talked about.
Yes.
Stuff like that. That's a really good, good tip.
And then free tools that you can use like MailChimp. MailChimp is free for individual users. So if you want to keep in touch with your people you've auditioned with that way, let them know what's going on. They need you as much as you need them, right? So if you want to do that type of thing, I always recommend tracking end to end the process that you'll go through, because it'll pretty much be the same with everyone that you're trying to get in front of and become known with, right? So the cost and then the steps along the way. I know how you love spreadsheets. You've like enhanced my love for spreadsheets. I'm always getting a sheet. It's awesome. But I always say track your end-to-end cost and process. That would be the best recommendation. Yeah.
That just made me think of something too. So with now that I've been running things even more like a business than I was when I was full on just performing, and having a mailing list and all of that, because I didn't use a tool like MailChimp before, but I do now. But I'm always very cautious, as you know, about just putting random people onto my mailing list. But what do you think ethically about adding casting directors that we've auditioned for to a mailing list that's like just with our updates on what we're doing? That's okay, right? That's not.
I think it's okay. A lot of it's your comfort zone. I'm like you. I don't ever add anyone to my list unless they ask. But when you meet someone, after you meet them at a workshop or you have a coffee date with them or whatever, pop them an email and say, I'd love to keep in touch. Is that okay? As long as they give you permission, then go ahead and add them to your list.
And you don't have to say it in a way that's like, I would like to add you to my automated mailing list that will send you an update. You can say
they probably wouldn't say yes to that.
Right, exactly.
Like, oh yes, sign me up.
I don't know what that is. But if you just say, hey, every once in a while I send out information about what shows I'm doing. Is that cool if I add you, if I send you information, keep you updated? Don't say send you information. Is it okay if I keep you updated on my current shows?
Yeah, would love to keep in touch. Yeah, would love to keep in touch. Is that okay? And then you can also segment those lists. So if you do a new blast every week, you might not want to send that every week to casting director who doesn't really know you that well, but you could do it once a month, put them in a maintenance cycle. So you can segment your list, and then when you book a big deal, you want to tell everybody that you can send to everyone at the same time, and so that'll make sure they get caught in that send as well.
Right. And that's something actually I think that maybe I'm going to work on putting together as a tool for you guys, because I'm using a new tool called ConvertKit. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's more expensive than MailChimp, but but MailChimp was what I used before and I loved it. But it'd be great to come up with some lists for performers as to how you would want to segment those lists. Cause like now I have a separate list for the vocal jam. So I'm not sending everyone who is on the prepared performer mailing list information about the vocal jam, because someone in New York, although they may be able to tune into Periscope, they're not going to necessarily need to know that the sign up has opened or something like that. I like it. And then you can really keep track of who is from where and all that stuff.
Yes, and you can run all your reports in there in your tool if you use something like MailChimp, or sorry, which was the one you just started using?
ConvertKit.
ConvertKit, I would assume they all kind of do the same thing. So you can run a report and it'll say the last time you reached out. I don't know if you can track individual opens, but you can see which ones are getting the most click-throughs and opens as well. So you know which one's getting their attention, because people get so many emails. I think an average is 145 emails a day.
It's crazy.
So yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah. I do also have already, which I'll post in the link below of this podcast episode. I have a spreadsheet that I use. It's an audition tracker that I think I might have told you this, but The Organized Actor is a great book on how to keep track of all this kind of stuff. And, but they have an actual paper notebook that you should write it in, but I think it's much better to do it in a spreadsheet, because then if every audition you ever go to, you have it listed of who was in the room, all that stuff, what you wore, how you felt. I have all that stuff listed out.
Yeah.
Then you can go in and be like, oh, you're at a party and you see somebody and you're like, oh, I know I recognize that person. And you can go back, or you get her name from somebody, you can go back and look through the thing and like, oh yeah, she's the one that I auditioned for South Pacific when my shirt ripped open.
Yeah.
Remember when that happened? That was
She might remember.
Yeah. So then I said to her, hey, I'm the one whose shirt ripped open. And she was like, oh my gosh, that was the funniest, most amazing thing ever. You handled it so well. So you can use the really bad things that happened in your life and turn them into positives.
Yes.
Awesome. I love it. Okay. So if people would like to talk to you more, because I know you also do private coaching and stuff like that, tell us a little bit about the services that you offer.
So I do personal money coaching, which is transformational money coaching for individuals. It is based on neuroscience, which is just as sexy as it sounds, let me tell you.
Oh,
yeah. So there's two pieces to it. One is the practical, which is dealing with the dollars and cents. And the other is dealing with the belief systems that make us spend the dollars and cents. So a lot of times when I've worked with clients, I would find that we'd get a plan to get them out of debt and they would be totally out, and then within a year they're back in. So it deals with the underlying belief systems that trigger our spending and trigger our savings and trigger our investing. And a lot of those are, of course, tied back, like all belief systems, to our early childhood. So it deals with that. It's a little different than traditional practical money coaching. And I also coach strategy and finance for small businesses. So if anyone is interested in getting more information, I've got some quick tools that I think we're going to post in the link below. Yes. You can just text on your phone. You don't even need your computer. And I will send you the tools for how to make 2016 debt-free and also how to boost your bottom line in 30 minutes a day.
I love it, because you are all running businesses as performers. Don't forget that. You are awesome. Yay, Shauna, thank you so much. And I don't think I said, in the intro I said it, but again, her website is srpconsultants.com and her company is SRP Consulting.
Thank you.
Those were such great tips. I'm super excited. I love it. Amazing. All right. Bye, guys. And don't forget, you can check out all the podcast information at thepreparedperformer.com/podcast. You can subscribe to us on iTunes. And woohoo! Yay! Go out and have an awesome day. Bye.